Hey kids, welcome back to music class. So since we learned how to play a beat on the drum set, why don't we learn about the different parts of the drum set and why it's called that? Well, first of all, it's called a drum set because there's more than just drums here. There's a set of things, okay? There's drums, but there's also these, and these are called the cymbals, okay? And there's several different types. The ones up top here are the crashes because you crash them, you just hit them. Like at the end of a section of a song, crash, to make that big impact. And that's what those are for. This one is the biggest cymbal, and it's called the ride cymbal because you ride on it and play patterns with a stick, okay? So here's my drumstick. It's got a bell up here so you can get different sounds. So you might play that in a part of a song too, okay? So that's the ride cymbal. Over here, I've got some more cymbals. There's actually two. These are called the hi-hats because a long time ago they were down here low on a stand, but now they're up here higher. Okay, so there's two cymbals here. There's the one on top, okay, and there's also one right here on the bottom, okay, and it fits on this stand. Make sure you bang all your other cymbals. And this one attaches to this clamp, and it's attached to this rod, if you can see that, okay. So I'll put this right over here, and this rod is attached to a pedal. You see my foot down there? My white shoe, okay? And whenever I press this pedal, it moves this top cymbal up and down. Like that, see? So when you're playing, you can play a beat like that with your foot too, okay? It's kind of cool. All right, so those are the cymbals. Now let's talk about the drums, okay? There's the biggest drum down here. It sits on the floor. This is the bass drum. And it's called bass because it's low pitched, and the word bass means low, okay? Now the way you play that is with a pedal, okay? So my right foot is playing a pedal that looks something like this, okay? It's called a pedal because you press it with your foot. And when you do, it moves that mallet forward and backwards, okay? It's on a spring, so when you press it, it comes right back. See that? So that's a bass drum pedal. Okay, cool. So now I can play with my feet. Bass drum, hi-hat cymbals. Cool, all right. So now, these are called the tom-tom drums, and they're just plain drums. It's got a drum head on top, and there's also a drum head on the bottom. It just vibrates and makes it sound better, okay? So you've got a big one, you've got a smaller one. Oh, excuse me. You have a small one, and you have the larger one. Since this one's larger, it's going to be lower pitched. This one's higher pitched. Right? So you play those at the end of a phrase right before you hit a cymbal. Okay. And one of the most important drums is the snare drum, and it's special. It's like the tom-toms, but it can change its sound, okay? It can sound like this, kind of like that, or by moving this lever, it changes it to this. Cool, right? Okay. Now the way it does that is because this drum has little wires on the bottom. You see those? Those are called the snares. And when you drop the lever on the side, it lowers those wires. So now they're not touching anything. They're not going to make any sound, right? So as soon as you raise this lever, you see that? Watch it. There it goes down and then back up. See that? So when you raise that lever, it tightens the wires against the bottom of the drum head, and they're going to rattle. They're going to vibrate, right? Because music is sound waves. And when I hit the top of the drum head, those sound waves make the bottom drum head also rattle, but now it rattles against these wires. So you can get this sound or that sound. Kind of sounds like a marching band, doesn't it? Right, because that's what the snare drum's used in. It's used in marching bands. And if you want to learn how to play, this is the best drum to start with, just a snare drum. You can learn how to do some stuff like this. Pretty cool, right? So that's how the drum set came to be. A long time ago, there was different bands like marching bands where there was a percussionist for every instrument. Like someone would play the cymbals, And then someone else would go banging the bass drum. Oh, well, and then someone else would play the snare drum. Right? So drummers started realizing that they could group these instruments together. They could put the bass drum here and play it with a foot and bring in these toms, and we'll set the snare drum here and put some cymbals here. So that's how the drum set came to be. So now, or if there was someone playing a shaker, which is used in a lot of songs, well, now you can just play that on these hi-hats. Sounds kind of like a shaker, right? Yeah. And then you have the snare drum on the backbeat. And then you just add in the bass drum. Add the cymbals at the end. So that's the different parts of the drum set and how you can use all the different instruments in different ways. Pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed that too, and we'll see you next time.